So you ever get like the announcement, and this did come out last night, but it was so late. And it flew under the radar because again, Marvel just threw their dick on the table and just like basically went, yeah. You remember how we ran Comic-Con for several years? Well, guess what? We still running it. So here we are with some news that flew under the radar last night because everyone was like, "Shut the fuck up! Marvel just dropped the biggest shit ever." So I thought I would talk about this. Neither this or the other thing I'm going to talk about I'm really all that excited for, if I'm being honest, because it just was like, well, the other thing we'll talk about I have a little more expectations for, but still not a lot. So let's talk about the first thing, which is the announcement of a crossover, and it was almost like eating Stride gum, where it's like, yay, aww. So yes, you saw that title. We're going to be talking about the announcement of the Doctor Who Star Trek Lower Decks crossover, but it's not a comic. It is a mobile game. Yes, it is a mobile game. And I immediately, like, when I heard I was like, oh, cool, another Doctor Who Star Trek crossover? I mean, it's with Lower Decks, but, you know, and I wasn't the biggest Lower Decks fan. I just, like, the humor didn't land for me. I know it has a major following, and we're headed to the final season, which I'm just happy, like, you know, this did get more people into watching Star Trek, and it did have, like, a great following. And I did like that two-part story where they teamed up with Brave New World, Strange New World. So I did like that. But it's just, the show was just not for me. But I did like the idea of Doctor Who crossing over with Star Trek, and it was David Tennant's Doctor, which also kind of surprised me because yes, Tennant is a great Doctor, but I was kind of expecting them to have the 15th Doctor, you know, to keep things, you know, relevant. But hey, Tennant is the most popular Doctor. And we were going to have River Song and all of that. And then I suddenly realized, oh, it's not a comic. It's a mobile game. And a very low effort one, too. Like, I'm serious. I don't know who thought a low tier mobile game would get anyone excited for this. Like, again, I was really interested in the idea. And again, IDW's panel didn't really say much. I don't think they announced really anything. And I don't know if they're doing any announcements today. So for all I know, maybe IDW would throw out, like, today, hey, we're going to do an actual comic to celebrate the mobile game, which I would forgive it and just, like, which, again, it is cool that we're getting more and more collaboration. I will give it this, is that it is cool because I never thought we'd get another Doctor Who Star Trek crossover at all. Because, again, BBC has to talk to Paramount, Paramount has to talk to their people, Paramount has to talk to the production companies with Star Trek. So I guess it was a lot easier to work with on a mobile game rather than a comic book. So, but again, IDW also, the other thing is they could announce it, but again, remember, they don't have Doctor Who anymore. That belongs to Titan Books. So IDW and Titan Books would have to work together for this collaboration. I know they are still doing Star Trek books, and they do Star Trek Lower Deck books. So maybe I'm holding out that we get like a legitimate crossover, because this was just like, it wasn't even like the cutscenes were good. The mobile game looks like your basic bitch mobile game, and the story looks, it's disappointment. That's what I'm trying to say, is that all of this is just disappointment. And as a big crossover fan, I mean, it is cool that we're getting another Star Trek Doctor Who crossover, even if it is a Star Trek that I don't like. I can, there's enough of that hype to get me like, oh, I could totally see this, because, Tennant's Doctor actually makes the most sense outside of, like, the 4th Doctor to team up with Lower Decks, because the 10th Doctor always had a bit of fun to him. The only one who would probably work is either 4th or Matt Smith's Doctor, the 11th. Either of those could easily work in a crossover like this. I get that Tennant's the most popular, and having River Song again is cool, but again, it's all marred by the fact that we're doing this shit-tier mobile game bullshit. That's my problem. So, that's just I I really wish I could get excited for it. And I was excited for like a hot second, and then I realized, oh, this is a disappointment. But again, maybe we'll get like a full-on, like, I'm still holding out that maybe IDW will pull something out. They still haven't talked about, to my knowledge, they've said they would go further in depth with the Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover. So maybe they'll announce, like, they'll do a full announcement for maybe they'll do more announcements after for their IDW panel, whenever that is, for comics. And maybe they'll announce like a crossover with Titan Books to like help promote the mobile game. But who knows, honestly. But you guys tell me in the comments below, are you guys even remotely excited for this? I mean, it is cool. We're getting Doctor Who and Star Trek again. That's my problem, is that I just wish it wasn't a fucking mobile game. That's what I'm really bothered about. But yeah, are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you in the next time in the Multiverse.